Hello and welcome back to the second tutorial on building a basic web page for a website. In our last tutorial we covered quite a bit of stuff. We learned how to save a folder on our computers so that as we build our pages we save all our pages in that folder. We learned how to build our first web page, saving it as index.html in that folder. We learned about the opening and closing HTML tags, the opening and closing head tag and title tag, where we included a title for our page and how important that is. And we also were introduced to the opening and closing of the body tags. Now I know you're excited in this tutorial to see how your page will look with some writing or something on it, because right now if we save our page and we open it up in our browser, so we're going to navigate to our folder where we've saved it and we're going to double click on it so that our browser will open it. There's really not anything going to show up there because we haven't placed anything inside the body tag. It does show us the title of our page from the header section of our page, but we're going to need to put something between the two opening and closing body tags in order for something to display on the page, so it's not just a basic white page. So let's go ahead and do that now. Remember back when we were looking at the website in the last tutorial and I said that it's a nice thing to include the title of our page also in the body of our page? So let's go ahead and do that. I want to introduce you to the header tags. The header tags start with an H, and they can range from can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. 1 being the most important and 6 being the least important. I usually like to use header 2 tag for the title on my pages. I don't know why I don't like to use H1, maybe because it makes it really large, but anyway, I just like to use H2. You can use whichever one you'd like. Just remember to always include an opening and a closing tag for that as well. And so you're just going to include the title of your page between those two tags. So it's going to be just like the title that we wrote in the header of our page. We're just going to include it down inside the body of our page so that our page is a little bit more user-friendly. And then we're going to just write like a little message that will show up on our page when the user first gets introduced to our page, and we'll want to include that in between two tags, an opening and a closing paragraph tag, and that's what the P stands for, paragraph. So let's go ahead and just type a little welcome message, like something like, welcome to my first web page. Okay, you don't have to be on the internet to be able to see your progress so far. Just like we saw earlier, we were able to double click the icon and open it up in the browser. If you'll notice over here in the browser, you can tell if you're on the internet usually. Let's say if we were to go to Google. Let's go to Google. You'll know that you're on the internet when you look in this URL up here and you see the HTTP. That lets you know that you're on the internet. But with our web page, if you look in the browser, it's actually telling us that we're not on the internet. We're actually looking at a file that's located on my hard drive. So you really don't have to be on the internet to be able to view your page. So go ahead and save that file. Once you've got your title and your paragraph with your message in there, save it, and then you can go to the browser and you can refresh your page. And now you're able to see something actually show up on your web page. And that shows that you've gotten all your tags listed correctly with opening and closing tags, and everything is placed between those tags like they're supposed to be. Before I end this tutorial, And before we go into changing the color in the background of the page or anything like that, and I know you're excited to do that, but there's a couple of things that's kind of important that I need to discuss. And whenever you're designing a web page, it's important to always include a doc type at the top of your page above the HTML tag. And what the doc type basically represents, back before the internet and a lot of people started designing pages for the internet, pretty much everything was included inside the page. But as the internet progressed and websites started becoming larger, they started allowing for parts of the page to be saved in another page, like cascading style sheets. And so whenever the browser opens up your website, it's going to have to know what kind of information you're including on that page, whether you're going to have movies, forms that people are going to need to fill out, just if you're going to have frames, and you may not know what any of this stuff is that I'm talking about right now, and that's okay. Later on you'll become more familiar with it, but right now it's just important to always include some form of doc type at the top of the page so that the browser is able to pull in any extra tools that it will need in order to display your web page correctly. For one, anybody that has a disability that may be using software to help them fill out forms, the doc type is going to allow the browser to know, okay, we need to use some special software to help display this page for anybody that has disability. So I'm going to just kind of go, I've already got it. It's called doc type, and I'm not real sure what everything in here represents. I just know it's important to always have some form of doc type at the top of your page. So make sure to include that. And another thing is I wanted to introduce you to their website, and it's called the W3org, and here you'll find any information that you want to know about designing a web page or putting a web page together, and what is the basic standards for doing so. That way they're able to keep everybody pretty much organized in how they're designing their web page, so there's not chaos on the internet. So if you want, you can go into the standards. You can type in something that maybe you're interested in knowing how to do in a web page, and just type it in the search bar there. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is they also have something called a validation service, and it's for free. And once you get your website set up on a server, all you would have to do is type in the address where your website is located, and then just hit this check button, and it'll let you know if any of your pages aren't up to standard. And it'll also give you references to where you can correct those errors. But for now, since we're not to the point where we have our website up on a server, you can do it by file upload. Just go to the file upload, and this is located at validator.w3.org. You might want to write that down. And you just open the, you want to navigate to this tab, hit the browse button, and then go ahead and upload your file, and then just check, and it will check it for you. So, see, we got one error, 4 warnings. So you just scroll down here, and it tells you what the error is and how you can check it. Like right here, it says line 2, column 1, no document type, HTML system. The check page not contain doc type declaration. Oh, did I not save that? I didn't save it. Okay, so let's try that again. So we'll go back and to our, we'll just back, and then we'll check it again. tentatively passed. Okay, so now we have 2 warnings. So that's just a good way. Well, it says the uploaded document was tentatively checked. This means that the use of some fallback override mechanism, blah, 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 blah. So it just pretty much helps you know just where you're at in your design and if there's anything that you need to change. So in the doc type, I didn't include a UTF in there. So yeah, it's good to check your pages to make sure that whether or not they're validated. So I'll need to fix that doc type and get that extra stuff in there. Okay, so in this tutorial we covered the header tag for the title to our website and the different ones that we have ranging from H1 to H6, and that they have to have opening and closing tags just like all our other ones. We also were introduced to the paragraph tag and how to include writing in our page. We've learned how to view it in the web page, and we also learned about the doc type and the W3 org and how to validate our pages. And that's going to be it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.